Good afternoon and welcome to today's NCAA Tournament second round post-game press conference featuring Colorado head coach J.R. Payne, as well as student athletes Maddie Nolan, Tamia Sadler, and Aaronette Bonlay. For those seeking additional interviews, the Buffaloes locker room isn't open at this time. As a courtesy to your fellow media members and the student athletes and coach, please turn off your cell phones into silent mode at this time. When you ask a question, please raise your hand and identify yourself and your organization. For those joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. We will get to you, time permitting, at the end after all in-person questions have been asked. Recording of press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Hammond Communications will post a recording of this presser in the NCAA Digital Hub located at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are also provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. We will begin today with an opening statement from Coach Payne, followed by questions for the student athletes. Once we're done with questions for the student athletes, they will be dismissed, and we'll move on to questions for Coach. Coach, your opening statement.
Yeah, wow. Just so proud of our team for how we played today. The environment was incredible. Shout out to Manhattan, Kansas. The entire community has welcomed us this week. And that's great. That's a great basketball environment. But we love that environment. Like, we love being the underdog. We love, we kind of thrive in that role. So I know that we are, as a group, we're very, very comfortable going into such a tough environment. Congratulations to K-State on such a great season. I know a couple of their seniors very well and just really proud of them for their careers. But yeah, just really, really proud of our team. When I look at the box score, any coach in the world would love to see a box score like this where you have 9 points, 10 points, 9 points, 9 points, 11 points, 10 points. Like, the balance on our team is just unreal. And I think that's really, really hard to guard. We executed some things down the stretch that were really great. Defensively, I thought our pressure was great. We were down pretty big on the boards at halftime, ended up out-rebounding them, which is just grit and toughness. So yeah, just really, really excited to be moving on.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes. We'll start here, second row left.
David Smale, Associated Press. Tamia, you had 0 points at first half.
Tamia,
I'm sorry. 0 points in the first half, all 10 of yours in the second half. Just talk about what you did differently.
I would say I was way more aggressive going into the second half. It was easy for me to pick my spots and find my shots just because Nettie was posting so hard, so it was opening up gaps for me to attack and find openings to shoot my pull-ups. So I was just taking whatever the defense gave me, and from there, that's where it went.
Go third row on the left.
Patrick Dawson, Scope Up Sports. I guess for all of you, you guys had 17 steals tonight. Aaronette, you had 7. Yeah. I guess the best way to ask is what happened tonight?
Let's start with Maddie, and we'll go down the row.
Yeah. If you saw us right before Jay started talking, she showed me Nettie steals, and I was like, damn, look at this. And then she showed Nettie, and we're like, oh, my gosh. But I think just speaks to Nettie, how good she is. And we always talk about Nettie offensively, I feel like, but I think we've seen it throughout Pac-12 play, and especially tonight, and especially even in the Pac-12 tournament against friggin' Beers. Like, she is one of the best post defenders in the country. She's one of the best players in the country, period. And I think we saw that tonight, and she just had a huge game for us.
Tamia?
Yeah, like, Nettie having 7 steals is crazy, but Nettie is so athletic, and it's like, when you see stuff like that, like, you're not seeing many post players that can just slip around someone that fast and that easy, and she did it really well, and it worked for her, so I'm really proud of her.
Aaronette?
Yeah, I was just trying to be really intentional about getting in the best position to be able to slip around her. I never really look in the steals column when I look at my name, so to see 7 there is kind of crazy, but yeah, just being aggressive and not letting her get any easy touches.
Go second row on the left. Oh, I'm sorry, in the back left.
Hey, it's Sully Ingles from Cake TV. Hey, Coach, for you, just kind of in that same vein there, shutting down Aoka Lee like that, holding K-State to 15 points in the second half. I mean, it's a tremendous group effort there, but how did that kind of come together, and is this something that you sort of expected out of the day?
Well, the great thing about the Pac-12 conference is that we've seen a lot of really good post players throughout the year. I mean, Aoka's special, no doubt. But I thought Nettie felt very confident going into the game regardless because she's seen such tremendous post play in our conference. So I think there was a lot of confidence collectively that we could guard. But I mean, I wouldn't say we held her down. She still had a double-double because she is that good. But Nettie's defense, and we've seen that as Maddie said, a lot of us talk about her offense, but her defense is she's kind of an unsung hero defensively for us because there aren't too many players that can single-handedly guard. athleticism, that size, that combination of skill, and she's done it time and time again for us.
As a reminder, we're doing questions just for the student athletes now. Front row right.
Luke Zalman, Denver Gazette. This could be for any of you guys. The scrappiness you guys showed on defense, the tenacity. I mean, Aronette, you broke Kendall Wetta's single half steals record. I guess having a teammate who's also done that before, I mean, what do you think that says about your team that so many different players can contribute defensively like that?
Go ahead, Aronette, and we'll come down the row.
I think that just shows the depth that we have. We have players that can be in multiple different positions and be effective. And there's never really a drop-off when new people come in the game. And I think that's just really something that we use to our advantage. And that's why, I mean, the stat sheet looks the way it does.
Oh, we're going down?
Yeah.
Okay, so we really proud ourselves on defense. So every day, every practice, we're always going at each other. We're always going to be aggressive, attacking every moment, every time on defense. And that's who we are. And that's what we fed into tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think just going off of what they said, I remember watching Colorado last year in the Sweet 16 game, and I was like, wow, the toughness and the tenacity, like you said, that they play with on defense is amazing, and that's going to win a lot of games and get you far, especially in a tournament like that. So I think now to be a part of it has been a lot of fun and something that we definitely emphasize, and Coach T does a great job of making sure we're on that every day.
Right side, second row.
Brian Howell with Bola Daily Camera. This is for Maddie. First off, third quarter, a lot of it was Tamia, but what kind of changed that third quarter where you guys were able to just, kind of explode and kind of take over this game a little bit?
Yeah, I turned to Tam at the end of that third quarter, and we were up 10, and I said, Tam, that was because of you. And I think she had 8 points in a row there, something crazy like that. And it kind of played off of our defense. I feel like, we were getting stops, and then Tam did a tremendous job running down the court. Kendall found her. And even Nettie, the whole game, she was running, and that opened up a lot of transition looks for us in general. So obviously, Tam had a huge part in that, but just our team in general, I think our defense definitely sparked that.
And then just to follow up real quick for Tamia, then the fourth quarter starts, and I don't know about you guys, but we were sitting there like, uh-oh, the fourth quarters haven't been good to see you lately, and you guys don't score for like 6-7 minutes. Did that enter your mind at all? And just kind of, can you talk about the fourth quarter, how you guys overcame such a long scoring drought and were able to still pull this out?
I think we all just came together like we've been here before. It was nothing just to like tank our confidence. We were just going out there and we're going to continue to fight until the last horn sounds, and I think that's what we did.
Go right side, second row, and then we'll go to the back, and then we'll go to the left. So go ahead.
Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. Tamia, this team has kind of a trend of these unsung heroes popping up. The other day it was Kendall. Today it was you. They're running a lot of stuff through you in the second half. Can you talk about how all of you guys are really just stay ready for these moments when your number is called?
Yeah, so it's always like, I don't know, it's funny because you never know. Like, we have so many people on this team that can go for 30 tonight or 10 the next day, and like it was just nice just to know that like your teammates are gonna instill this type of confidence in you. And when I knew like they were like, get Tam the ball, I was like, yeah, they believe in me, so I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do whatever I can to help us win this game tonight.
Right side, fourth row.
Aronette, this is back here. Greg Eklund, this is for NPR. First of all, can you describe the feeling of being in the Sweet 16?
I was just telling Coach T, it hasn't really hit me yet. So, I mean, I'm really blessed that we're able to be here again for another year in a row. It just hasn't registered that we're really going back again.
And the second part of that is you face the prospects of facing a premier player. You don't know yet, but how much did playing against Juju at USC twice prepare you for that type of setting?
I think that it's a good example. I mean, Juju's a very similar caliber player to Caitlin. She really is like the engine of their team in the same way that she is. So I think that was just a good opportunity for us to see those things in conference play. So it's not going to be a shock to us come the next game when we see it again.
Our last question today comes from Brad Lake on Zoom. Go ahead, Brad.
Yes. Hi, ladies. It's Brad, WNBA Swish. That heartbreaking double OT loss to Oregon State in the Pac-12 tournament, and then the time off in between. How did you ladies regroup and get that better mentality going into the first game?
We'll start with Aronette and come down the row and finish up.
We just spent a lot of time focusing on us and what we needed to work on to be ready for our next opponent. Just doing going back to the basics really in practice and just getting that synergy back. We say that word a lot, just being connected with each other. That was just our focus.
Yeah, I feel like we used that week, like after that, to prepare and focus a lot on us, because at the end of the day, it's always us that we have to work on. So going in after that game, we were just like, what could we have done better? And we focused on those points that we didn't do, and we got better at that.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with what they said. I think for a lot of us seniors, that game really stung just because we had really high expectations coming in the season to win a Pac-12 championship, and that was kind of our last chance to do that. So we took that week, like they said, regrouped kind of mentally as well as physically, and got ready for this tournament.
All right, ladies, thank you. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you.
Here you go. Thank you.
I know.
All right, we'll open it up for questions now for Coach. We'll start here on the second row on the left.
Coach, you talked about the balance in scoring. Does that reflect the fact that there are no egos or no big egos on your team? Just talk about that.
Yeah, I think one of the best things about our team, we've said for a long time, is that nobody really cares who gets the shine. We have a lot of different players. We don't have a single 5-star recruit. We don't have a single McDonald's All-American. But we have a group of young women that are willing to fight and compete every day that they take the floor. And so I think that leads to a group that really wants to see each other succeed. I think it leads to a group that really loves to feed the hot hand, no matter who it is, where it is, what it is. They try to get that person the ball, and it's just a really fun way to play.
Second row on the right.
JR, a couple of questions. First, just back-to-back Sweet 16s, first time in 21 years for this program. What does it mean to the program and to you especially?
Yeah, to the program, I mean, it means everything. So many players on our team. We're really fortunate. We have a very veteran group, and most of those players came to Colorado when we were not good. We were in last place in the conference and sort of believed in a vision and a dream to help us be great, and through the pursuit of excellence every single day when we were not winning, they continued to work to be great. That's how we're in this position. And so I'm just beyond proud of our team for that. Going to Sweet 16 is awesome. We're super excited. I'm kind of like Nettie, hasn't really sunk in yet, but I'm mostly proud of how they've pursued that excellence every day for the past 4 and 5 years.
And then Aranette had 7 steals at halftime. We looked at each other at one point. We were like, they can't even complete a pass to Lee on the inside. What was that like for you to just watch every single time she got a hand on every entry pass?
It was incredible. I mean, I always talk about Kendall's defense, and so to hear that Nettie passed her first half steals record is almost hard to believe. But yeah, it was pretty great to watch. Everybody had so much confidence in Aranette to guard because she's done it night in, night out all year long. Go back a row, stay on the right.
Could you take us through what you saw on her during the intentional foul?
I actually didn't see it. What I was told was that Jalen had fouled her, and then I think as soon as that foul had happened, maybe she flung her arm and hit Jalen in the face. They just said it was contact above the neck. Yeah, so I did not see it. Yeah, yeah, just that there was not intentional contact, but contact.
Second row, right side.
Two questions for you real quick about 2 different players. First off, Quay, we're not talking a whole lot about her, but she has a double-double. I thought she was fantastic tonight.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about her contribution, what she meant tonight?
I thought Quay was incredible. I was just looking at the same stats, talking about Yoki's double-double. I was looking at Quay's double-double as well. I thought her rebounding was absolutely essential. She was the only player on our team, I think, with a couple O boards at halftime. She stopped possessions for them on the glass and gained us a few extra that we really needed. The ball seemed to find her late in the clock several times, and I thought she made really smart basketball plays at those times. She's a pretty veteran kid, very comfortable and confident in herself, and we're all very confident in her as well.
And then with Jalen, she didn't play a ton in crunch time. Is that because she was banged up, or is it because Tamia was playing so well, or what went into all that?
Yeah, here's a great example of how unselfish our team is. So I had put Jalen back in because you don't often play long extended minutes without Jalen, and she recognized that Tamia was playing better than she was. So after a few minutes, she said, "Get Tamia back in for me," and for you. yeah, for me, and I was already thinking I got to get Tam back in the game. But Jay just recognized that Tamia was the hot hand. Kendall was incredible defensively, so we weren't going to take her out. And so it just ended up that group was clicking and rolling, and we went with that group.
Right side on the back.
Coach, you handled a partisan crowd today, and your next game is not going to be as much, at least theoretically, of a partisan crowd, but sometimes the crowd is drawn to an individual talent. How much does today's game prepare for something like that?
Yeah, I think it's huge preparation. Anytime you can play in front of how many? 10,000 people is a great opportunity. Little girls grow up dreaming about these opportunities to play in the NCAA tournament in front of that many people. Whether they're for you or against you, it's passion and excitement for the game that we all love so much. So we feel very prepared by our Pac-12 play and then also by the game today.
Thoughts on West Virginia or Iowa?
I'm sure they're both fantastic. Honestly, I don't have a lot of time to watch other teams during the season because I'm always watching our team and our opponent. But I have seen both of them play a fair amount, and they're both very, very good.
Go front row in the middle here.
Coach, in your opening statement, you talked a little bit about the environment, Manhattan. Brett Yormark was here, the Big 12 commissioner, sitting courtside.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to watch these two teams play and not think about what the future looks like with you guys joining the conference.
Yeah.
How excited are you guys for that, and could you see this kind of developing into a nice competitive rivalry?
Yeah, I think that's actually interesting to think about rivalries because we have no idea what our rivalries will be. But Brett came in before the game and spent a little bit of time just welcoming us, to Manhattan and the conference. And I couldn't be more excited, to have someone like that leading our new conference because he's so passionate about all sports. And so, yeah, great to have him here. It's great to be in Manhattan. Like I said, in Big 12 country, we have very little experience with Big 12 country. We played at Oklahoma State a couple years ago, so this was a neat opportunity for us. And I'm sure rivalries will just develop based on, great games and tough environments.
Go third row.
Coach, you brought up the guard duo of Kendall Witta and Tamia Sandler. They played awesome. Both of them came off the bench. So what do you think went into their explosion, coming off the bench and then being the better guard duo tonight?
Yeah, just confidence. I think they're very confident in themselves. Their teammates and coaches are extremely confident in them. We always love to have some of our more aggressive players off the bench because we've always felt like it can come in and bring a spark and bring some tenacity and toughness, in that second wave, so to speak. But yeah, they were both fantastic and both capable of, again, defending, scoring, and creating tempo and things like that.
We'll finish off with Coach. The question from Zoom from Brad. Go ahead, Brad.
Yes, hi, Coach. It's Brad Lake from WNBA Swish. I would like to get our coach's perspective after that double overtime loss in the Pac-12 tourney. What was your message to your group, and how do you think they rebounded from that?
Yeah, thank you. I think the message was just, as always, we have a lot of places that we can improve collectively, and we kind of try to be really intentional about attacking. Some of those areas that we thought we could improve, we really tried to prioritize execution. We tried to prioritize communication, making sure that we're on the same page at all times, no matter what. And we were able to really, pour those things into our practices that week. I think we got better, and I think we're a better team now than we were during the Pac-12 tournament.
All right, Coach, thank you. Congrats on your victory.
Thank you, guys.
We'll have Kansas State. Now welcome Kansas State head coach Jeff Mittie, as well as student athletes Gabby Gregory and Aoka Lee. For those seeking additional interviews for the Wildcats, their locker room isn't open at this time. We will begin the press conference with an opening statement from Coach Mittie, followed by questions for the student athletes. After those questions have been asked, we will dismiss the student athletes and then take questions for Coach. Coach Mittie, your opening statement.
Well, disappointing to lose this one. I think it's disappointing to lose when you don't play very well and you don't feel like that you did things as well as you could have. And there's always regret that comes with that. You feel like you could have, should have done this, but at the end of the day, the game presents its challenges, and there were moments that we didn't handle those things very well. And I thought our defense was good enough to win this game. We held them to 35% shooting, but ultimately turnovers were a big problem for us. We did not get to the free throw line enough to balance that out where we get some points there. And we weren't shooting the ball well enough. It was really hard for us to put together consistent possessions. And ultimately, that's what it ends up getting us. I thought defensively in the fourth, we made some really tough stops. I thought we really dug in deep. I thought our effort was outstanding, but we just couldn't convert enough at the offensive end to put enough pressure on them. So credit goes to Colorado. They did a lot of things really, I think, solid. I thought they gave us problems all day long. They were active on our guards, and they were active on Yoki in there. So credit goes to them. And it's been a heck of a year. So, but when you end it this way, there's this one's going to sting for a while.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes. We'll start here in the front row.
Yoki, is this one of the more physical games that you've been a part of in your career at K-State?
No. I mean, you play in the Big 12. There's a lot of physical games. It was physical. Like Coach Mittie said, they did a great job on defense, but no, this was not the most physical game I've been a part of.
Third row in the middle.
Yeah, another question for Aoka. It seemed like they really sold out, tried to keep the ball away from you down there in the post. What did they do specifically to make it hard on you down there?
Yeah, I think like Coach Mittie said, they were just active.
Any further questions? We'll go second row in the middle.
Excuse me. Gabby, whenever the intentional foul happened, did you notice kind of a shift happen just in energy with you guys?
I guess slightly, not enough.
Front row middle.
For you, Gabby, I know that obviously this is a really hard time, but as you take some time to kind of reflect on what K-State has meant to you, just where are your emotions at with that and where you are right now?
Obviously, this really sucks. Wasn't expecting to be done so early. But I mean, I think right now I'm just so upset that we're not moving on. But like the magnitude of my basketball career being over in college, it really hasn't, I don't know, hit me yet. But I'm so thankful for Coach Mittie for allowing me to come here. I couldn't have asked for a better experience the last 2 years. And I just love this school. I love K-State. Thanks, Gene and Jill. I mean, I've just had a blast, and I've just absolutely loved my time here. And I wish I could stay longer.
Front row, right side.
And Gabby, you advocated more than anybody to have a sold-out crowd, and maybe that does culminate into all the hard work you guys put in this year, but what was your reaction to actually seeing the sold-out crowd and hearing it?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty awesome, and I mean, if that's my last game in Bramlage, then that's a pretty good crowd to go out on. So, I mean, I'm just really thankful to the fans. Everyone has been amazing and so supportive of us this year, and I really think that we've grown the game of women's basketball in Manhattan, Kansas, and I just can't wait to see the support that they continue to get next year.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Oh. All right. Thank you, ladies. Congratulations on your season. Okay, we'll now open it up for questions to Coach Mitty. Go second row here in the middle.
Jeff, just what were the refs telling you on that flagrant, and what did you see?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the elbow come up on the drive, so I don't think that one was. I mean, I didn't get a great look at it. They don't let me near the TV, but I could see. We saw it live, so they just said the elbow came up. By rule, contact above the shoulder, it turns into a 2-shot penalty and the ball out of bounds.
When they open the fourth quarter, they go scoreless for the first 6 minutes, and you guys are only able to get 4 points up. How frustrating is that? And what kind of your reaction to how that went down?
Well, that was the problem all day, is that I thought our group dug in hard defensively. I thought they were doing some really good things, but we couldn't take care of the ball well enough at the other end and make good decisions. And obviously you're going to not shoot the ball well at times, but we just couldn't consistently have any flow offensively. And there was an opportunity there because we did do such a good job defensively in that stretch to make a much bigger run than the 4 points. But that's why we'll look back at this and go, the things that we controlled, we didn't do as well as we needed to.
Front row middle.
Coach, as far as the guard position goes, it seemed like Colorado did a really good job on blocking the entry passes to Yoki and forcing you guys to turn the ball over. How do you go about trying to find a balance of guarding on the defensive end and then maybe finding another way on the offense to provide a spark?
Yeah, you know, that was probably where I struggled the most with. We couldn't spread them out and get enough ball movement, and we couldn't go to a lot of things that we go to with Lee and have success. Our post entries weren't good enough. Their centers were really active, sliding around, attacking the ball in the air. I think Von Lay is one of the stronger players in the country, but she combines athleticism that you don't always see. So she challenges post entry well. And today, if you threw a pass a little bit to the inside, Von Lay was good enough to go get it. And yeah, it was impressive to watch. She's strong, she's tough. It was a physical game, but they made some really good plays.
Third row on the right.
Jeff, I wanted to go back to the intentional foul for just a moment. The officials didn't call it originally. The player came over. I think the official was standing next to you. She came over and alerted. Does that happen often, where somebody, a coach or a player, can draw an attention to that play?
You can draw attention to a play above. The interesting thing about that, and I don't want to get into that, but Gregory had gotten hit in the face the play before. Now, it wasn't intentional, but neither was Serena's, right? None of them are intentional. Very few are intentional. If they're intentional, you're kicked out of the game. So anyways, that really, look, we came out of that. We were ready to go. We just didn't control the ball well enough. We're ready to go. We came out of that. I told them in the huddle, I don't care which way this call goes. I go, we're going to come out of here and fight, and we did. We just couldn't pass it to our jersey enough. And ultimately, that's going to be hard because you look at the stat sheet and you go, well, they got 16 fast break points. We only got 2. I bet the points off turnovers are all fast break. So we've got to do a better job there. So that call was, I think, fairly easy once they went to the monitor and saw that it was up above. So
third row middle.
Sometimes I am amazed at what they don't see on the first time, though.
Jeff, I saw you make a point to hug Gabby, Ayoka, Serena as they come out the game. What was that like, I guess, knowing you coached that group for the final time?
Yeah, we don't know on Lee, and I think Lee will make a decision here down the road here in the week because she does have the ability to come back if she chooses, but I'm not sure where that's going to be. I think just my hug for both of them was just an appreciation of what they've done all year. I love this team. Not every day, but most every day, and I love them as people every day. They have been really steady leaders of our basketball team, and they're great competitors. So I felt like when the game was finished that they deserved the fans deserved to show their appreciation, and they deserved to hear it. And so I just wanted to give them a hug and tell them thanks.
Second row middle.
Jeff, in the era of the transfer portal, one of the criticisms is that players can be more anonymous jumping from school to school. Gabby has been maybe the exact opposite of that and only being here for 2 years. What is kind of the impact that she's left on this program?
I think Gabby's personality allows people to draw to her, and people can see how hard she plays on the floor, and people can see the passion that she plays with, and she's not afraid to vocalize that. She's not afraid to tell the fans we need a sellout. She's not afraid to get out there and show people her personality and show people how much she loves to play basketball. And I think just in general in life, people are drawn to people like that. People are drawn to people that have fun. People are drawn to people that compete at the highest level. And I think, players like Gabby can have an impact regardless of how long you're at a program because they're just those kind of people. And we could see it when she first walked in here. She loved to compete, loved to play, loved to practice, all those things. So it's not surprising what she's done.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Congrats on the
season.
season.
All right, guys. Thank you.